Hello, everybody. Welcome to Living in the Zone podcast. I'm your host, Jim Fannin. We're all awake. That's all 8 billion of us. We're all awake, but we're not all aware. Have you ever come home and just didn't read the room? Mom's upset, kids are upset, and you're coming in. Maybe you had a great day at work. You're coming in with a smile. You just didn't read the room. And one thing you said sets her off, and you're like, what's happening? What's going on? You can walk into a room and not see anything in the room. In this show, I'm going to show you how to get into a zone mindset, a purposeful, calm mindset in every situation in your life. Life, business, sports, whatever it may be. I'm going to show you how to manage your thoughts so that you can have a simple, balanced, and abundant life. That's what this show's about. And if you love that and want more of that, make sure you subscribe and also make sure that you share it with people that also need this information. I just gave a speech to about 30 people, a little short seminar. I asked everyone after I'd looked each of them in the eye, shut your eyes. And then I said, one of my associates is going to touch one of you on the shoulder, and you're the one that's going to answer this question. We're all awake, but we're not all aware. What color is Jim's chain around his neck? Is it gold or is it silver? And then a person's touched, she has her eyes shut, and she goes, it's a gold chain. What color chain does Jim have on his neck? Is it gold or is it silver? Another person's touched from behind. It's silver. How many moles does Jim have? Well-known moles once you look at him. How many moles on his face? 1. I don't know. 2. What color are Jim's eyes? Brown, green. I'm not sure. I didn't look. Now, they've been with me 15, 20 minutes. Do I have on glasses? What's unique about my glasses? Is there any metal on my glasses? No, yes. Every answer different. Some had no idea. Everybody open your eyes. I have no chain on my neck. Ask them, was I left-handed? I had a watch. It was on my right arm, which meant I'm probably left-handed. And I was writing something on the board left-handed. We're all awake. We're not all aware. So when you walk into a room, be ready to fill that room with your energy, but be present. And how do I do that? Well, you need to close the room you're in before you enter a new room. We're all awake. We're not all aware. And that's really what we're going to talk about when this is over, this podcast today. The final word, stay tuned because I'm going to give you a tip on exactly how to do this and how to change the room. And I've helped some of the biggest icons in business and sports do this. I worked over and over with Alex Rodriguez on just how to walk into a room with your head up and fill the room and own the room. We went over that when he was 19, over 30 years ago, over and over how to enter a room. Now, I've seen some of the best walk in the room and they change the room. I'm in spring training. At this time, it was in Florida, in Sarasota with the Chicago White Sox. And Michael Jordan's not playing basketball. He's now playing for the Barons, the Birmingham Barons, spring training. And I'm waiting on him. I'd been talking to a couple other players that I'm coaching. And there's a big carnivorous room of lockers, and there's a ping pong game. There's some country music, a little salsa, got some hip hop. It's an eclectic room of noise. There it is. And then all of a sudden, and I'm leaning up against the wall, waiting on my next client to meet with, and all of a sudden the room goes silent. No one looked around, but everything just stopped. It was the feeling before a hurricane. If you've ever been in a hurricane, right before everything gets calm, everything gets still, and then the door opens and Michael Jordan walked into the room. I watched him change the room literally before he got in there. I saw Bjorn Borg do it, Jack Nicklaus do it, Tiger in 2000 do it. I even had the honor, the privilege of seeing Mother Teresa in Calcutta, who I met, change the room. Is that you? If you're ready to make a difference, change your room, change the environment that you're in, just by how you think. Again, stay tuned. You'll get a big tip on the final word. But right now, who's in that zone state? Because when you walk into a room like that, where you own the room, and everybody turns, not a word said, everybody turns toward you with your head up, that's a special time. Nothing needs to be said at that particular time. Which of these markers do you need to walk into the room like that? Do you need more discipline, self-discipline? Do you need more concentration, focus, getting that energy filtrating into the room? Do you need more confidence? Probably that's what we all need. Owning the room, owning the audience, being a difference maker with nothing said but energy being sent through the room. But maybe you need to relax a little bit. Maybe you're worried of what other people are going to think about you. Of course, that's under the optimism, self-esteem. But maybe you're just uptight, thinking they won't like me. And now you're anxious. You're worried about what may happen. Or maybe you're just not enjoying being the center of attention, that feels like too much pressure. Which one of those do you need? And right now, who's been in that zone state? Who has commanded the room and what they do? Let's go to who's in the zone. And I want to go to a performer right now, Francisco Lindor. For 5 years, 20 home runs, 20 stolen bases, no shortstop ever in Major League Baseball has accomplished such an amazing feat. So tip of the hat to Francisco Lindor. It's pretty awesome to see someone that's so positive, that commands the room. When he walks in, everybody turns to see this incredible energy force. Who is in the zone? Francisco Lindor. Also, Max Herendeen, University of Illinois, in the zone. USAM, he defeated in the round of 16 the world #1 amateur. This is for a sophomore at Illinois. We've been coaching him. This is our second year helping Max. So proud of Max. A daunting task to play the #1 amateur in the world and then take him out. So congratulations, Max, on U.S. Amateur having a great run. You're going to have an amazing, amazing career this year for the University of Illinois golf team. Who is in the zone? And right now, were you in the zone last week? And when were you in the zone? What score maker got you there? And what score breaker maybe took you out of it? We're all awake, but we need to be aware of our own self-discipline, our own concentration, our own optimism, our own relaxation, and definitely our own enjoyment. We must be aware of that, which will enable us to be aware of your score level. And if you're in the dumps and I see that, I can easily, readily pick you up into a higher zone state. But if you're already there, I'm going to go there. I'm not going to be Donnie Downer and throw some water on this amazing flame of energy that you have. No, if you're fired up, then I'm fired up. Again, stay tuned at the very end. But right now, let's find out, what do you need right now? What's your missing link? And we're going to go to the Zone Cafe. What is that? Well, I'm cooking up a big heaping plate, steaming hot, self-discipline. That's a willingness. That's a commitment to stay with tasks or routines to reach very well-defined goals. Well-defined, measurable, doable goals that take you to a vision, a place that you want in the future, number one in the world, whatever it might be. Do you need self-discipline? Which will help you with a little more patience, give you a little more persistence, help you be a little more relentless in pursuing what you want. If you need that, don't think about it. Take it right now. Be aware of that. But maybe you need concentration. Well, I'm cooking up a big bag of that. And if you want to expand holding your focus from just a few seconds, which we do on TikTok and social media, you want to expand that out to 90 seconds, 2 minutes, maybe be able to focus for 90 minutes on a project, uninterrupted, blinders on psychologically, where nothing's going to interfere with being present. You need better concentration, take it right now. Here's a mess of it. Go apply it to your life. Let's focus more. And that's when your energy is going away from you to a well-defined objective. But maybe you have that. Maybe you are disciplined. Maybe you're focused and locked in. Do you have the optimism, the belief, the expectancy, a sense of knowing? That can change just like that. I can be in an awesome, optimistic mood, and then I can get a text, and it just like that drops me like a stone psychologically. How's your optimism? How's your belief in you? And how's your expectancy? And how's your sense of knowing? And do you walk that sense of knowing into a room and fill it? Make everybody aware that a high-level energy presence has entered? Not one word being said, just being felt. Do you need optimism? Take it with you. But maybe you're a worrier. I've talked to a few worriers this week who spend a lot of time in the past going over it, putting it on a loop over and over and over, and then using their imagination to project something negative into the future. Are you a warrior or a worrier? What are you? And do you need more relaxation? Do you need to compete with your jaw unhinged, your breathing under control? Or do you allow the room to change you instead of you changing the room? I've seen people walk on stage confident, and they see the audience. I'm coming up next behind some speaker on a stage. I'm talking elite level, but you could tell they didn't own the room. You can feel it. And then I feel a guy speaking in front of me owning the room, and he's really palpable with his energy. I love following that guy. That's going to be easy. The room's jacked up. But if it's a downer, I got some work to do. I got to hit him. I'll change my opening just to come out there and own the room. We're all awake. We're not all aware. And are you aware of your own enjoyment level? Man, I'm not having fun. I'm just not having a good time. I'm not enjoying myself. I'm not enjoying being in the present. I'm too much in the future, too much in the past. My E level, the very last letter in the word score, boy, I need some of that. And how do you do that? Now, you just change your behavior. That's an easy tool. You can pick the pace up. You can slow it down if you've been way too fast. But you got to put a smile on your face, put a little pep in your step. This is about elevating some energy so you can get a little dopamine into the bloodstream, a little adrenaline. So let's go somewhere special. And a person that has that enjoyment, you're going to attract other people that want that and need that. You walk into a room disciplined with knowing how you want to leave the room. You walk in the room focused so that everybody can see you, and you're locked in, looking at people in the eye long enough to discern eye color. You walk in, you're 6 foot tall, but you walk in like you're 6'8". You come in big. Not a word said, silent, confident, cool, and loving, doing what you do. Stay tuned right now. Pick up which one you need, but stay tuned for the final word. Be sure that you subscribe. Be sure that you heart us, follow us, and tell everybody about it. And if this helps you, think, who would this information benefit? A son, a daughter, if you're a coach, which player on your team shies away from the moment, doesn't own the moment, and walk in with presence? You decide who needs it, make sure they see it, maybe even listen or watch it with them. In any event, let's go to the final word. Before you go home, especially if you've been away for 2 hours, put your phone down. You can turn it off because you don't want to be distracted. Close the arena that you've been in. Work arena. Oh, you went to work, but you played a little golf, played 9 after work. Close your golf arena. Mentally close it, because you're going to give the first 90 seconds that kind of energy presence to the people that you love and care about. And if you've got little tiny kids, hold them up. Let me hug mommy. I want to give mommy energy. Now you're training your sons or your daughters how they need to treat their significant other, or how their significant other 30 years from now needs to treat them. Show mom respect. Go to her first. Look her in the eye long enough to discern eye color. And there's a technique inside this 90 seconds called mirroring. If she's happy, mirror it and get happy. But if she's grumpy, a little sad, not on her game, go there. You don't want to stay there, and you really don't want to go into a downs. But if she's in the basement of her attitude, go down the stairs into the basement, pick her up, and let's walk her back up into a positive zone state. The 90-second rule. You can use this for your relationships. You can use it going out onto the ball field, and you can use it going back to work. Today, this was about energy, and I hope you can feel my energy. Your energy is what this is about. Make sure that it's at a high level and that you're prepared to be aware when you walk into any situation. Read the room, read the score level, look people in the eye, get comfortable, and bring the positive energy. We're all awake. We're not all aware. Be in the zone, everybody. You know, that's the place to live your life, in the zone.